It's Sunday evening. The house is quiet. The notifications have finally slowed down. And from every objective angle, your life looks correct. You've earned the title, you've hit the milestones, and you carry a level of efficiency that everyone around you has come to rely on. But as the city lights come on, a specific, unnamed ache arrives at the edge of your awareness. It isn't anger or even envy. It's just a persistent hollow that shows up the moment the work is done. A sense that something is missing, even when nothing is actually wrong. You tell yourself you're just tired. You promise a better morning routine. But lying there in the dark, you realize that managing this high-functioning existence is starting to feel like a distraction from an actual life, rather than the point of one. When success feels this empty, the issue isn't your schedule. The tension is coming from the foundation itself, a quiet internal misalignment that no amount of tactical optimization can reach.
Our default response to this ache is to double down on effort. We buy books on habit formation, hire coaches, and attempt to white-knuckle our way into a more disciplined version of ourselves. Grinding a metal gear into the dirt doesn't make anything grow, it just ruins the machinery. We are trying to apply a mechanical solution to an agricultural reality. Even our most intense willpower is just a pair of shears. We spend all our energy pruning behaviors at the surface, while the massive root system feeding those habits continues to pulse and deepen completely unchecked beneath the soil. Willpower is a useful tool, but it is limited. It can trim the branches of a life, but it cannot change the software that determines what the roots are growing in the first place. A doctor named Amara provides a clear look at how these roots take hold. Early in her career, she absorbed a specific unwritten rule, that her excellence was the only price of admission. To belong, she believed she had to be flawless. She built a fortress of perfectionism, using standards as bars to hide behind. But a wall doesn't discriminate. It keeps out judgment, but also blocks out the friends and help that require us to be honestly struggling rather than impressively fine. Standards of excellence turn into cages the moment they stop being about the quality of work and start being about protecting a fragile sense of identity. Inside that fortress, the performance is usually fueled by two specific lies: the belief that you are not enough and the fear that you are not loved. Fighting these lies with effort works like quicksand. Struggling to prove your worth only makes you sink faster into exhaustion. The way out is to stop the fight. Spread your weight, yield the outcome, and move slowly towards something solid. Fighting a spiritual lie with a mechanical solution, like more work or better habits, only feeds the very burnout you're trying to escape. The goal isn't to tear down your standards and leave yourself exposed. It's to install a gate, a boundary operated by wisdom instead of fear, allowing you to choose what to let in and what to keep out. The power to operate that gate lives in the gap. It is that tiny half-second space between a trigger and your automated response. We reclaim that space through micro-overrides. When the urge to snap at a colleague or scroll through a feed arrives, you introduce one small intentional move. You put the phone face down. You stand up. You take one breath. Finding that space is how you stop being a passenger in your own life. It is where you stop acting on momentum and start making decisions based on wisdom. You aren't a passive product of your environment or your triggers. You have the agency to decide how you respond to them. Your role is that of a gardener. You have the authority over what is allowed to take root in the soil of your heart and what is refused root space before it can grow. The invitation is to stop struggling, come to rest, and begin the slow agricultural work of becoming someone who lives in the gap. Genuine formation happens in the long middle, the quiet, sustained choice to keep finding that space and keep sowing the right things, even when the results are still invisible.